The beginning of your company had an interesting start. You were crowdfunded, and in your TED Talk, which is quite good, you talk about this idea of citizen science and that uBiome is an example of that. So let's talk about, first of all, what is citizen science and why is it different than regular science?
Yeah, so that's a great question. This is a question that's really dear to my heart. Citizen science is the idea of involving average, everyday people in science. And sometimes those average, everyday people can be people without PhDs, people who haven't gone to college, people who may not even speak the same language as the researchers. It could also be people who are very well-respected scientists just in a different field. Science has become so siloed into specific areas where if you're a microbiologist who works in one organism, you may never have a chance to do anything to contribute to scientific knowledge in a different organism, even though you're in the same field. So citizen science is the idea of involving the public, very broadly defined, from the very skilled in different areas to the very sort of, just having the human capacity for observing their environment on the other end. So it ranges all the way from people doing it. Actually, citizen science, the term was actually coined by ornithologists, scientists who study birds, because if you think about it, there are very few. The number of bird watchers in the world is much smaller, is much greater than the number of ornithologists in the world, and birds are everywhere. So they really need to involve the public in citing where birds are. And that was kind of the beginning of it, was the idea that you could crowdsource bird sightings. And that's sort of spread into every field of endeavor. There was a protein folding project called Folding at Home, for example, that used people's extra computing power to do protein folding. There's a project called Fold It, where people would sort of predict protein folding and see if they could help the computer along. There are a lot of different ways to do this. The way that we've done it is we involve citizen scientists in the project we kind of make it easy for them to learn about their microbiome, and what they contribute are information about themselves, what diet are you on, how old are you, stuff like that, and also their samples. So we kind of work in collaboration with citizen scientists that way, but there's just a tremendous amount of opportunity, and I think the NIH and other government institutions that make grants are starting to think about this a lot, because if you think about it, it just makes sense that the public has this voracious appetite for science on one side, and science needs more people on the other side. You never hear, oh, we have enough scientists, now we're done, no more discoveries need to be made. So it's really kind of bringing those two pieces together.